Hello, YouTube divers. This is WaterDive 122, and I want to welcome you all to another episode of Coda of Soda. So today we are going to be comparing the two root beers that have won the ranking in the previous video, where I ranked 5 root beers all at once. We are going to be talking about the 2 root beers that came at the top, and they were Summits and Hanks. Now, out of these 2 root beers, I slightly prefer Hanks, even though some of the scores on my note sheet actually kind of favored Summits. But in this video, we're going to talk about why I have these root beers where they are, and then we're going to do the taste test, all the normal stuff. So, I'm going to place them right here in front of my camera. I'll get my note sheet real quick. Alright, so here we go. So, we're going to start off with Hank's root beer firsthand. So, with Hank's, 3.5 out of 5 in flavor, which actually kind of surprised me because, really, I've always said right from the get-go that Hank's has an absolutely majestic flavor. But, to be fair, this was the last root beer that I actually had. This was the 5th root beer. I had Boylan first, followed by Virgil's, and then Summits, and then Vanilla Frosty, and then Hank's finished it off. But yeah, this root beer is just absolutely majestic in every possible way, shape, and form. Yeah, Hank's has an absolutely majestic flavor and really a majestic aroma. Those of you who've had Hank's before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, stop wasting time. Go buy yourself a 4-pack of Hank's right now. You can find them in most big time supermarkets, most notably Ingles. But just go down their soda section, and more than likely you'll see a 4-pack of Hank's root beer right there waiting for you. Fizziness, 5 out of 5, absolutely perfect score. I mean, the amount of foam that I saw when I saw it in a glass. If that makes sense, like a glass cup, was just astounding. And it's definitely a very foamy fizziness. It's very thick. I love it. Aftertaste is its weakest component. It's not a bad aftertaste at all. It just kind of follows up the majestic flavor to it. But so with that reason, I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, but a pretty enthusiastic one at that. And then creaminess and color both got 5 out of 5s for Hank's. Just absolutely a no-brainer there. Now we're going to talk about Summits. So with Summits, in my opinion, it mostly excels in creaminess, flavor, and color. Earning 4 out of 5s and or a 4.5 out of 5, looking at you, color, in each of those categories. The fizziness and aftertastes, again, were not really strong points, but, then again, the flavor, creaminess, and color really just makes up for it. And you can basically say the same thing with Hank's. Its fizziness, creaminess, and color really make up for it. Even though, really, with Hank's, the 3.5 out of 5 was just very close to being a 4 out of 5. It was very close. It was highly enthusiastic. I love it. But yeah, both of these sodas ranked high, even though they were separated. Their grand scores were separated by about 3.5 points. Summit's got a score of 18.5, and Hank's got a score of 21. So really just a 3.5 point differential separates these two sodas. Even though some of their categorizing scores might be a little bit wonky, at the end of the day, the grand scores matter, and Hank's prevailed as I expected it to. Really, going into this competition, I was expecting both of these sodas to be ranked at the top, and I was correct. Really, I knew what was going to be the best and which one was going to be the worst. It was really the ones in the middle that were kind of hit or miss. Like Boylan and Vanilla Frosty could have been interchangeable right from the get-go because they have very similar flavors. But Vanilla Frosty just won it over that day. And basically the same can be said for here, except these two sodas are far less interchangeable than what Vanilla Frosty and Boylan were. But yeah, for right now, Hank's is my undisputed #1 root beer. Not just with the 5 root beers that we did, but also of all time. You all know the drill. If y'all been watching the series right from the get-go, then you know exactly how I feel about these two sodas. I made separate reviews for them. I reviewed Summits, I believe it was episode 34, I believe. And Hank's, I reviewed it in episode 22, along with another comparison that I did with it and A&W root beer a few episodes ago. So you could go check out both of those episodes if you want to. Then maybe you could come back here. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get to the taste test. So we're going to do Summits first. Cheers. Really, really freaking good stuff. And now, the best of the best, the king of all root beers, Hank's. Cheers. Oh my god. Really, with Hank's, it has a little bit more of a sweeter flavor, a more smoother flavor. And with Summits, it does have a sweet flavor, but it's more of a cola level like flavor. Alright, so with that said, that concludes this edition of Coda of Soda. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterDive122 signing out, ready to dive into more fun on YouTube. Thanks for watching.